Bismillahir-Rahmanir-Rahim. Certainly Allah's deen is Islam. 3. 19. What is Islam? Translation of Islam ki Yahai. What did Allah say? The Quranic Perspective. Ghulam Ahmed Parwez 1964. Text box. Talui Islam Trust. Registered. 25B, Gulberg 2, Lahore. 14 Man and the External Universe. Whether it is an individual or nations. Especially nations. One essential element in the decision about their life and death is also that what is their viewpoint or attitude towards the external universe. This is that question which has always kept man perplexed. The Quran has assigned great importance to it and presented its correct explanation in extremely clear, precise, and sparkling words. When human consciousness first opened its eyes, it found itself in a strange world. Above its head a great, flaming, overpowering sphere. Mountains in all four directions. Shoreless oceans all around and their fearsome stormy waves. Rivers with dread-laden floods in their laps. Miles and miles of frightening forests containing dangerous beasts and serpents. Sometimes thundering from clouds. Sometimes the heart-shattering crack of lightning. Sometimes awful dust storms. Sometimes frightening hurricanes. Sometimes the scorching life-threatening attack of volcanic lava. Sometimes the horde of destruction from earthquakes, diseases, and epidemics, and the helpless progeny of Adam surrounded by these, without the aid of companions and without resources. 14.1 The first reaction of man. You can understand that, under these circumstances, what could his reaction to the outer universe be other than to kneel down prostrate before every horror, imploringly. Wherever a danger appears, he bows his head to it. In this way, different forces of nature became his god and he became their worshipper. The moon, sun, stars, lightning, rain, dust storm, fire, river, serpent, lion, even epidemic diseases, all were accorded the concept of gods and goddesses. And in their presence, offerings, entreaties, resorting to praise and flattery to gratify them, and techniques to seek their appeasement began to be adopted to seek their pleasure. This was the first reaction of man. In that environment. Regarding the external universe. Gradually. This reaction adopted the form of a religion, and we know that when a belief or concept takes on the face of religion, then no matter how much the circumstances may alter, no modification occurs in it. Hence, most of the religions of the world are manifestations of the first reaction of man towards the universe. This world was one of superstitions. On the other hand, if you come to the world of knowledge and vision, there, unfortunately, humanity was confronted by another tragedy which resulted in a loss greater than the ignorance of superstition. As far as historical parchments are able to guide us, the first home of knowledge and wisdom is thought to be Greece, in which Socrates is given the status of the father of all wise men. The doctrine of Socrates was that only the human self was worthy of study, not the outer universe. 14.2 Platonic Doctrine. Plato, who was the disciple of Socrates, but is a leader of a different ideology in his own right, went even further than this. He said that this perceptual world, external universe, does not in reality have its own existence. The real world is a world of ideas, which is located somewhere beyond the universe, and this perceptual world is its reflection. The intellectual conclusion which can be derived from this doctrine is obvious, i.e., when this perceptual world does not have its own existence, and rather is a deception and mirage, in fact, actually a dream state, then whatever knowledge is acquired about it through the human senses will have no reality either. Real knowledge will be that which man, by keeping eyes shut, ears closed off and lips sealed, will achieve after this by remaining absorbed within his own inner world. Only this knowledge will be trustworthy and certain. Perceptual knowledge will never be trustworthy. This was the Platonic doctrine about the universe and perceptual knowledge, on the basis of which the edifice of Greek mysticism was raised. 14.3 Doctrine of Mysticism. This mysticism, having come out of Greece, influenced the whole world. On reaching India, it took the shape of Vedanta. Hence, according to this philosophy, Prakrti, the material world, is Maya, deception. The universe is a dream of Brahma, God. The day his eye opens, this dream will vanish. The great functioning universe is Lila of Eshwar, a sport of God, in which nothing is present in its true colors but is a simile of reality. This is the philosophy which, in the hands of Persian mystics, became the favorite wine of saints and spread euphoria even to the Christian monasteries. It was the outcome of this philosophy that the universe was declared false and the world was conceived as a detestable thing, fleeing from which was considered to be the hidden secret of human salvation. This was the reaction of the human mind regarding the universe in the era when the Quran was revealed, i.e., the world of religions was bowing in front of the universal forces by making them gods. And the world of intellect and the universe of mystics, by declaring the universe false, were discovering from this the secret of spiritual ascendancy through this aversion. There is no doubt that before the advent of the Quran, certain such signs can be found in which the rightful position of the universe also becomes evident. This was the consequence of teachings based on the revelation which passed through various anbiya from time to time. But since at the time of the advent of the Quran the teachings of the revelation were not available anywhere in their original and true form, the status of human intellect therefore was in general as noted above. 14.4 Quranic Doctrine. The Quran arrived and it first of all challenged the world of religion. It detailed metaphorically the story of the mutual relationship of the universe and Adam in the second surah. Be aware that the story of Adam is not the tale of a particular individual. Adam is man himself and his story is the narrative of man himself. It declared that the status of man is that all the forces of nature, which the Quran refers to by calling them Malaika 202, are bowed down before Adam. We said to the angels, bow down to Adam. And they bowed down. 2. 34. With this one revolutionary declaration, the Quran made the worshipper, and the worshipper the worshipped. It proclaimed to man, and he has made subject to you the sun and the moon, both diligently pursuing their courses. And the night and the day has he also made subject to you. 14. 33. It also stated, it is he who has made the ships subject to you, that they may sail through the sea by his command. And the rivers also has he made subject to you. 14. 32. He has given into your control the oceans and rivers, and in short, and he has subjected to you, as from him, all that is in the heavens and on earth. Behold, in that are signs indeed for those who reflect. 45. 13. These are all tied up within the chains of the prescribed laws of Allah. Your task is to acquire knowledge of these natural laws and through this bring all these forces into your use. Have you seen how the Quran, by unveiling the status of Adam, transformed the map of the universe and of the human world also? Through this truth-revealing teaching, all invented idols, gods, goddesses, jinn, ghosts and witches of the human mind stood bowed before him in his service. And man, who once rubbed his forehead prostrate before stones, how he became the master and served by even the lightning from the skies. 14.5 Defeat of Platonic Mysticism. On the other side, the Quran confronted the world of mysticism, and with one thunderous announcement blasted Platonic mysticism into smithereens, and dispersed these into the air. It declared, not without purpose did we create heaven and earth and all between. That were the conjectural thought of unbelievers. 38. 27. We have not created the universe and the heaven and the earth and whatever is between them in falsehood. This is speculation and conjecture on the part of those people who deny truth. But woe to the unbelievers, those who do not accept truth. Their efforts become ashes. Hell. 38. 27. The efforts and deeds of those who falsify the universe, thus rejecting the established truth, become a heap of ash. And ultimately their share consists of nothing but regrets and disappointments, destruction and annihilation. Have you noted how, by declaring the wrong viewpoint about the universe as being kafir, and contrary to this giving the right viewpoint the status of iman, how much importance the Quran has given to this question? The person who declares the universe as false is not a mu'min according to the Quran, but is a kafir. Allah did not create the universe as false. Allah created the heavens and the earth in truth. Reality. Verily, in that is a sign for those who have iman. 29. 44. Its existence is not a deception or a trick. This exists in reality, and has been created for a specific purpose. To those who assert the universe as being sport, the Quran states, "We created not the heavens, the earth, and all between them, merely in idle sport. We created them not except for just ends. But most of them do not understand." 44. 38 to 39. This thought, that the universe has been created only as a sport and a pastime, is the speculation of those people who are ignorant of knowledge and truth. 14.6 Definition of knowledge. After producing such an earth-shattering revolution in the opinion about the universe, it was necessary that a change be created within the human viewpoint about sense perception. Hence, in this respect the Quran has stated, "And pursue not that of which you have no knowledge. For every act of hearing, or of seeing or of intellect will be inquired into." 17. 36. Your hearing, observation, and thinking, all of these will be questioned. What did you verify through evidence that issue which you assume to be correct? This verse demands deep reflection. In it, knowledge is declared to be that about which evidence is provided by hearing, observation, and intellect. Hearing and observation are human senses whose task is to provide information about the external universe to the mind, and then the mind should process this information. In this definition of knowledge, both perceptual knowledge and conceptual knowledge are included. You can evaluate how much importance hearing, observation and the mind have according to the Quran from the fact that it has stated in clear words that those people who do not make use of this are living life not at a human level but are living at an animal level and are meant for hell. 14.7 Those not making use of hearing and observation belong to hell. In Surah Al-Araf the Quran states, "Many are the jinns and men we have made for hell. They have hearts wherewith they understand not, eyes wherewith they see not, and ears wherewith they hear not. They are like cattle, nay more misguided. For they are heedless of warning." 7. 179. Their state is such that they have hearts in their chests but do not make use of them to comprehend. They have eyes but do not make use of them to see. They have ears but do not make use of them to hear. They are not humans but are animals, and yet even more lost than them, because these people remain in a state of ignorance about the realities of the universe. 14.8 Those who reflect and ponder over the universe. Contrary to these people, the Quran refers to another category of people about whom it states, "Behold, in the creation of the heavens and the earth, and the alternation of night and day, there are indeed signs for men of understanding." 3. 190. The state of such men of understanding is that men who keep the laws of Allah in mind, standing, sitting, and lying down on their sides, and contemplate the wonders of creation in the heavens and the earth, with the thought, "Our sustainer, not for naught have you created all this, based on evidence. Glory to you. Give us protection from the penalty of the fire." 3. 191. Our sustainer, you have not created this great system of the universe in falsehood. It was totally impossible from you that your creative program could be without purpose, such a thought cannot even be conceived about you. This is solely our inadequate knowledge and deficiency in research, investigation, due to which we remain ignorant about the advantageous side of many things of the universe, and thus continually burn and suffer from their poisonous effects. Our yearning is that you bestow on us such an ability that we are able to protect ourselves from the destructive effects of the things of the universe due to our inadequate knowledge. This is because those nations which do not research and investigate the forces of nature and so remain ignorant of their beneficial effects. They spend a life of ignominy and humiliation in the world. Our sustainer. Any whom you do admit to the fire, truly you cover them with shame, and never will wrongdoers find any helpers. 3. 192. And such nations find no friend or helper in the world. 14.9 These are the Momin and Mutaqi, righteous ones. At this point the Quran has declared those people who, after research and investigation into the things of the universe, unveil the secrets of nature, as men possessing intellect and vision. In another verse, the Quran declares them as being Mu'minin. Verily in the heavens and the earth, are signs for those who have Iman. Mu'minin. 45. 3. These are those people who maintain firm conviction in Allah and His laws, and in the creation of yourselves and the fact that other animals are scattered through the earth, are signs for those of assured conviction. 45. 4. These are the people who have vision and understanding, and in the alternation of night and day, and the fact that Allah sends down sustenance from the sky, and revives therewith the earth after its death, and in the change of the winds, are signs for those who are wise. 45. 5. After placing so much emphasis on contemplation and reasoning about the universe, the Quran states, such are the signs of Allah, which we rehearse to you in truth. Then in what exposition will they believe after rejecting Allah and His signs? 45. 6. 14.10 Iman can only be acquired through this. These are those signs of Allah which Allah presents before you in truth. Ask these people who even after this do not accept Iman in truth, in what else will they have Iman? Have you observed what a great truth the Quran has proclaimed at this point? It states that there are two aspects of having Iman in Allah. Firstly, after contemplating and reasoning on the things of nature to reach this conclusion that the system of the universe is being managed by a knowledgeable and all-knowing being according to His established, immutable and constructive laws. Secondly, consider and reflect on the Quranic teaching which proclaimed the harnessing of control of the universe for man in that era when the whole world had either made the forces of nature into idols or, considering them to be illusory and worthy of hatred, were running far from them. In such circumstances, raising this type of revolutionary voice is not the work of a human intellect. The source of such a voice could surely only be that all-knowing and hearing Allah who is cognizant of the rightful status of both man and the universe. Therefore, if an individual after studying nature and after pondering and reasoning about the Quran still does not have Iman in Allah, then no such thing remains through which he can have Iman in Allah. Iman is that concept of life which forms the basis and aim of human life. After this comes Taqwa 203, which can be understood as being that pattern and manner according to which a Momin lives his life. We have seen earlier how important it is for the Mu'minin to use their intellect and reasoning about the signs and facts of the external universe. In another verse, the Quran states that this intellect and reasoning is just as important for the Mutaqi. Verily, in the alternation of the night and the day, and in all that Allah hath created, in the heavens and the earth, are signs for those who are righteous. 10. 6. Surely in the alternation of day and night and whatever Allah has created in the heavens and the earth, there are signs for the righteous nation. 14.11 Living creation in the heavens. We have seen above that the Quran has placed emphasis on paying attention to and reflecting on the heavens and the earth. One field of reflection on the heavens, galaxies, is that which is called astronomy, but the Quran goes even further than this. It states that there is life not only on Earth but in the galaxies as well, and it is important to reflect on this. In Surah Al-Shura it is stated, "And among his signs is the creation of the heavens and the earth, and the living creatures that he has scattered through them. And he has power to gather them together when he wills." 42:29. Note that the first pointer to the existence of living creations in the heavenly bodies was done by the Quran itself. 14.12 Definition of Ulama. Scholars. We have seen earlier what the definition of knowledge is according to the Quran, i.e. knowledge is that for which evidence is provided by the human senses and support for it should be provided by the human mind. Now let us see who are the scholars according to the Quran. The word ulama has appeared twice in the Quran. In one place in Surah Al-Shu'ara it is stated, "Is it not a sign to them that the ulama of the children of Israel knew it as true?" 26:197. In the second place in Surah Fatir, ulama is mentioned among the servants of Allah. It is stated, "See you not that Allah sends down rain from the heavens? With it we then bring out produce of various colors. And in the mountains are tracts white and red, of various shades of color, and black and tense in hue. And so amongst men and crawling creatures and cattle, are they of various colors. Those truly fear Allah, among his servants, who have knowledge." Ulama. For Allah is exalted in might, all-protecting. 35:27-28. Have you observed how many matters are being cited in these verses? Different aspects of the universe. Various departments of the field of nature, different subjects of science including physics, botany, zoology, geology, meteorology, and all matters of the human world come into it. After mentioning all these subjects and categories, the Quran states that the reality is that from among his people, the ulama are indeed the ones whose hearts are overwhelmed by his greatness and stature, because they witness with their own eyes the truth of how Allah is the master of such great powers. And how, by protecting it from every type of disintegration, Allah is taking this incredible system of the universe towards its intended purpose. Have you seen for which type of people the Quran uses the word ulama? For those people who, in modern terminology, are known as scientists and international philosophers. 14.13 Signs within the human self and in the universe. The Quran has also stated that, just as only those people who reflect on creation and the constituents of the universe can understand the greatness and supremacy of Allah, similarly the people who achieve conviction in the Quran as being the established truth are only those who reflect and use their reasoning about the external universe and the human world. It states, "Soon will we show them our signs in the furthest regions of the earth, and in their own self, until it becomes manifest to them that this is the truth. Is it not enough that your sustainer does witness all things?" 41:53. This means that as the undiscovered facts wrapped within the convolutions of time keep manifesting through the process of research and investigation, these will become proofs, one by one, of the declarations made by the Quran. The Quran is the book of that Allah from whose eyes no secret remains veiled. Everything in the universe lies uncovered before him, and this fact is sufficient proof in itself that whatever Allah will state about the realities of the universe will definitely be true. Say, the Quran is sent down by him who knows the mystery that is in the heavens and the earth. 25:6. Hence, those people who pay attention and reflect on these signs within their inner self and in the external world see the divine light being unveiled in these. Regarding those nations which pass by these signs of Allah with eyes closed, it can be understood as if they do not feel they can see God being unveiled in this way. Indeed. Are they in doubt concerning the meeting with their sustainer? Indeed. It is he that does encompass all things. 41:54. Even though they do not have to go very far for this, for whatever thing they research in this way, The lights of the law of Rabi'ah will become visible like reflections in water because Allah's law encompasses everything and is not tied to one thing only. 14.14 Conquest of nature alone is not Iman. We saw earlier that the Quran has stated that there are signs of Allah everywhere in the universe for the Mu'mineen and Mutaqeen. From this it should not be assumed that Iman and Taqwa means attention, reason, research, and investigation into the things of the universe, and that those nations which harness nature are Mu'min and Mutaqi. Mu'min and Mutaqi are those who, after conquering nature, use these forces of nature according to the divine laws. The Quran. For the Rabi'ah of mankind, and in this way, provide the means for their self-development. To be a Mu'min, both of these conditions are necessary, i.e. harnessing of nature and obedience of the divine laws which are preserved within the Quran. 14.15 Conditions to become a Mu'min. If a nation is deficient in even one of these two conditions, then it cannot call itself Mu'min and Mutaqi. The Quran declares, if any do fail to judge by what Allah has revealed, they are unbelievers. 5:44. The nations which manage to subjugate the forces of nature but do not make decisions on the matters of life according to the Book of Allah are kafir also. Due to harnessing of the forces of nature, they achieve the benefits of the material world. But since they do not utilize these forces according to the divine laws, they also therefore become ultimately destroyed and ruined, just like those who do not bring these forces under their control in the first place. These are the very nations about whom the Quran declares, but of no profit to them were their hearing, sight, heart, and intellect, when they went on rejecting the signs of Allah. And they were completely encircled by that which they used to mock at. 46:26. 14.16 Summary of the discussion. Therefore, according to the Quran, the state is as follows. Those nations which, using their hearing, observation, and intellect, harness the forces of nature and then use these forces according to the divine laws. The Quran. They are Mu'min and Mutaqi, their life in this world is prosperous and bright, and their life in the hereafter is also pleasant and evergreen. Those nations which, despite conquering the forces of nature, do not follow the permanent values of the Quran, they only reach the status of humanity but do not reach the level of a Mu'min and Mutaqi. They achieve power and glamour in the life of this world, but their future is dark, the future in this world and the future in the life of the hereafter also. And those nations which from the beginning do not even harness the forces of nature, never mind becoming Mu'min and Mutaqi, they cannot even reach the status of humanity. For them there is humiliation and deprivation in this world and destruction and ruin in the hereafter also. In the words of the Quran, their abode is in the fire, because of what? The evil they earned. 10:8. This is because. But the one who is blind in this world, will be blind in the hereafter. 17:72.